champions. The Atlanta Falcons 2 years ago got it going in late November and December. Last year, the Eagles got it going in November and December. And I think this Rams team, who played their best game of the season last week, can win this game against Seattle. They got a shot, and if they do, they're in this NFC race.
You know, I'm looking at the New England Patriots versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Here's the reason. Not just because it's a big game, and it's a rematch of the AFC title game a year ago, but if Tom Brady and the Patriots lose to Patrick Mahomes, it's kind of a passing of the guard because I can't remember the last time that Tom Brady and the Pats have lost to the other three top quarterbacks in the AFC. Now I'm talking about Lamar Jackson, Deshaun Watson, and Patrick Mahomes. So it's kind of for Patriots fans like you, Greg, it's kind of
Or maybe it's setting them up for the okie doke, lose to all three in the regular season and blitz them in the playoffs.
New strategy. All right, Cynthia, what do you got? What are you looking for?
I just think this is the weekend. This is the day, actually. This is what we all, paid for. This is what we came for. There's so many good games today that have so many implications. I mean, who thought when you were looking back in August, circle week 14, that's going to be the week. We've got San Francisco in New Orleans. We've got Baltimore in Buffalo.
Yeah.
We've got Tennessee in Oakland. That one matters too. And of course, Kansas City in New England. You knew that one was going to be a good one, ahead of the season. But there's so many great games. You just giddy up.
I love it.
Giddy
up.
It.
All right, we got Lamar Jackson in the building. He's in Buffalo, getting ready to take on the Bills. Probably the man in football, am I right?
I mean, absolutely.
Never change. I like he doesn't pre-plan these outfits too much.
For more on this game, let's go to Kim Jones.
When I talked to Bills safety Micah Hyde this week, he told me he's really excited about the Bills' defensive game plan. No, he didn't tell me what it is. But let's consider this. We'll start at the back end. With Hyde and Jordan Poyer, the Bills have great safeties who are very versatile. At the linebacker level, and this will be important, they have speed in Matt Milano and Tremaine Edmonds. Edmonds in particular has great length. And then there's the Buffalo front, which has 15 sacks in its last 3 games. The Bills know to beat the Ravens today, they've got to get after Lamar Jackson, and they have to make him uncomfortable. Let's go to Steve Wyche in New Orleans.
Well, thanks a lot, Kim. First off, a couple of personnel notes for this big matchup of NFC behemoths. For the Saints, and this is a key issue, they will be without starting linebackers A.J. Klein and Kiko Alonso. However, it does look like they'll be getting back left tackle Teron Armstead. He's missed the past couple of games with some ankle issues. Speaking of tackles coming back, for the 49ers, looks like Joe Staley, the left tackle, he will be back. And on defense, they'll be getting back pass rusher D. Ford. And in terms of the 49ers pass rush, defensive coordinator Robert Saleh said they are really going to try to put pressure on those Saints tackles because they know Saints quarterback Drew Brees is going to get the ball out quickly, and they're going to try to populate the passing lanes to try to really block Brees' vision, try to disturb his accuracy, but that is a tried and maybe not so true formula other teams have used for years. Back to you guys.
That's right. 2 of the top teams in the NFC are squaring off in the Superdome as the 10-2 49ers will take on the 10-2 New Orleans Saints. Cynthia, let's go to you first. What are you looking for in this matchup?
Well, we just saw that Teron Armstead, the left tackle, is active. That's a big deal. I mean, the Niners bring pressure really efficiently, effectively. And last week when he wasn't active, we saw Drew Brees has his shortest time to throw so far this season. Now, with a little more time, I mean, Andrews Pete still isn't playing left guard. That's a problem. But with a little more time, I think we get a little depth of throw. You can have a little bit more efficiency for Michael Thomas. It's going to be a more interesting, that one just makes me feel a lot better about my pick in this game. Tease right there.
Tease.
When the Saints, lost at home in the NFC Championship last year, I thought someone who's watched this team forever, that was their chance. They have been waiting to have home field advantage in New Orleans again for pretty much the whole Sean Payton era since they won the Super Bowl. And they got it and they blew it. And then here they are now 13 weeks into this season where if they win this game against the 49ers, it is smooth sailing, really. I mean, they have a pretty favorable schedule. They have the 1 seed in hand, and to me, this is the game that decides it for them, whether they get that 1 seed.
Low-key, George Kittle was just walking in wearing Gucci. He had the hair pulled back.
He's the best.
The whole thing was great about that. We had to make mention of that because, I mean, the hair, the beard, the whole thing. Here it is.
There it is.
Oh, that's just...
You gotta
the
love
Gucci.
him,
He would be a big value
The
add during
necklace-
Super Bowl week.
I don't understand the necklace, but I love it.
Hey,
So great.
Well, it's funny because the San Fran 49ers, I always look at what they do in these big like statement games. We've seen this a couple times this year when they win against the Seahawks, when they go against the LaFleurs, when they go against the McVays and all these like things where I think Shanahan realized this is going to be what this means for this team, this organization. And I feel like this is one of those games versus the Saints, which is why I feel so good about it. I don't want to tease it, so we'll get right to picks. Saints are favored by 3, Cynthia. What's the model say?
Okay, the model says that the Saints will win by 1.
Ooh,
How about
okay.
that?
Splitting that difference.
24-23 is what the model says. I feel a little bit more confident about it than I did on Thursday. If we saw on Thursday, we said the same score. I feel more confident in the score. It didn't change the score. It just made me more happy about the score. The model more confident.
I respect the model.
Respect the model.
But I'm
That's
going
the
with
name
the
of the show next
49ers.
year.
Yeah, respect the model with Cynthia Freeland. All right, so I'm going with the 49ers. I think the running game is going to be clicking on all cylinders for them, and I think it's just going to be too much for the Saints, especially on turf where they have these fast running backs who only get faster on
Quick
artificial
question.
turf. Go ahead.
Would you start Emmanuel Sanders in fantasy or not, given the Saints defense?
Yes.
It's playoff time in
Yes.
fantasy. Okay,
I
good.
would.
That's all
I
I
would.
needed to know. Glad I got that.
I'm going 49ers as well, and it's because of their defense. I've heard this week, okay, the 49ers, they haven't been in big games like this team. It's like, I don't care about the 2018, 2017 Saints. Those are the teams that haven't played tough games this year. The New Orleans Saints, the 49ers are battle tested. I think they go in there, and the Saints offense has not seen a defense like the San Francisco team.
All right, well, next we are on to Buffalo, where Lamar Jackson is bringing the Rolling Ravens into town against a Bills team who is hoping to continue to prove people wrong. The Ravens are favored by 5.5 in this, Cynthia. Right to picks. What do you got?
27-21. I have a 6-point win for the Ravens. I think it's Lamar Jackson. His ability to, this is a great defense. Them taking nothing away from the defense, but Lamar Jackson's a game changer. I have 1 touchdown through the air, 1 touchdown on the ground for him.
Right. Every defense is a great defense until Lamar Jackson comes in.
Right.
Because I don't think anyone's ever prepared. I'm going Ravens too. I think they win big.
Yeah, because I don't think Josh Allen and the Bills are going to be able to score enough. And you say, all respect to the Bills defense. Well, you still have them giving up 27 points today, so not that much respect. I'm just telling Bills Mafia, come after her.
I love it. Come
right
after
here.
Bills
I'm right
Mafia.
here, fam. I'm
See
right here.
Freeland on Twitter. All right, next we're going to Tampa. An interesting one. As the 5-7 Buccaneers take on the 6-6 Colts. Both of these teams are in the 9th place in their conference, respectively. We'll start with you, Cynthia. Bucks are favored by 3. What do you got?
I think the Bucks, 4 is probably about right. 27-23. This is not the one that I feel the most confident about in terms of for the whole week, but we did see no T.Y. Hilton. That helps enhance the coverage. Marlon Mack is active, though, and the Tampa Bay defense is really good stopping the run. So for me, the net out here, Tampa Bay 27, Colts 23.
The Bucks, for me, are one of those teams that if Jameis plays well, they win. If he protects the football, they win. Similar to Buffalo. I don't think he's had enough games where he's protected the football enough. I think it's one of the ones where
Jameis
it's
is
a
always
downside.
good, like in the December, and they're like, we should keep him.
Right. This
Exactly.
is his
Jedi mind
time of
trick
year.
Jameis.
I like them. They're a 5-7 team that has the talent, to me, of an 8-4 team, and they're finally playing to that talent right now, and I think they keep it rolling.
You got the Bucks. All right. I guess I'm lone wolfing with the Colts. All right, let's check out some notable actives and inactives for today. What's standing out to you here, guys?
Josh Jacobs being game time decision, because if they don't have Josh Jacobs against the Titans, the Raiders are so one-dimensional.
And by the way, that's a late game, so if you have him in fantasy, you need to make other plans. Maybe Benny Snell, maybe you look even at, if you're super desperate, Bilal Powell for the Jets. I don't love that pick, but it's if you're
What about
desperate.
Jalen Richard maybe?
Okay.
As a last
Jalen Richard. I'd rather go the Benny Snell route if I could.
No Adam Vinatieri. All right,
Vinatieri.
Deshaun Watson, he's active. Check out. His knees are active. He's ready to go, ready to do some work against the
Good-looking
Denver
stretch.
Broncos. A good stretch. We'll talk about that and more after this break on Game Debut. This week, NFL players are wearing their hearts on their feet as part of the My Cause, My Cleats initiative. Visit NFL.com/MyCauseMyCleats to hear their stories, to bid on their custom cleats for charity, and to learn how you can follow their lead and volunteer for a cause.
All right, you ready for proper performances?
Absolutely.
If I could say that word, proper performances.
Hey-yo.
There we go. Got it the second time. Mark Ingram is going to have more than 49 rush yards. There's a fantasy help if you need a running back.
There you go. I'm with it. I think he's
By
going to go
halftime.
off.
By
Forget about
halftime?
it. Why not?
Okay. Yeah, Bills give up a lot to the outside.
Spicy predictions.
Look, I love it. Okay. Next up, another running back. One that's been kind of dicey this year in terms of fantasy performances.
yeah.
But
look at this
Devontae
guy.
Freeman will rush for more than 55 yards against the Carolina Panthers.
Probably his biggest game of the year.
This is like the stoppable force versus the movable object. I mean, Freeman hasn't done anything this year, but he's going against the worst rush defense in the entire NFL.
Yeah, okay. Well, someone who's not going to need to, I don't even know how to transition that, but Tom Brady will throw for fewer than 281 pass yards. More rushing. Okay, his running backs are going to have a good one. There we go. That's how we get to that. That's the transition.
That
Tom
feels
Brady.
so safe. I mean, even if the Patriots win and their offense plays well, I
It's
wouldn't
not
be
gonna
surprised if it's 250.
Chiefs are sneaky good at stopping the pass.
Yeah.
Not as good against the run. There we go.
There you go.
Next up, another running back. You know who's playing my Lions this game? Dalvin Cook.
The
You know who's going
master
to score a
chef.
touchdown? Dalvin Cook.
Not worried about his injury.
Nope.
He wasn't even on the injury report by the end of the week. So
I mean, he looks fine there. Like, that's a good stretch.
his
Okay,
knees are getting
really
he's
high.
fine. He's fine.
He's got maybe some of the best arms, I would say, in the NFL. That's what I'm saying.
Second
right
only
here.
to yours, Greg. All right, last but not least, Cortland Sutton will have more than 59 receiving yards. This one's a little bit more dicey because Drew Lock, we don't know exactly what to expect from him. 59, what do you guys think?
I say, yeah, man. This guy's been balling. He's stepped right into that #1 position since Emmanuel has left, and I think it's only up from here for Cortland Sutton.
He's got a chance to be an All-Pro. Like
Absolutely.
the top 2 receivers in the league. I think he's got a chance to make that team.
Houston secondary also
I'm a little
very
worried about Drew
targetable.
Lock, though.
Yeah.
I got to see it.
Houston secondary targetable.
Warranted. All right, for more on this one, let's go on the field with James Palmer.
When I talked to Broncos head coach Vic Fangio this week, he told me when you go against Deshaun Watson, you have to prepare for the play Bill O'Brien calls and then the secondary play where Watson goes out and improvises. But look for him to possibly be running less. Lately, he hasn't been doing it as much. Offensive coordinator Tim Kelly says it's because he now is understanding the offense a little bit more. The protection has been better, and the wide receivers are winning their routes quicker. Watson believes he has more trust in that offensive line, more trust in his eyes, his feet, and the scheme. Now remember, he is going to be without one of his top wide receivers, Will Fuller. We know how different this team can be when Fuller is on the field. Now let's go to Mike Giardi in Foxborough.
Thank you, James. So much has been made about the Patriots offense and its struggles, but one player who has not underperformed is Julian Edelman. At his age, with the injuries, how is he doing it? On pace for career high in yards and in receptions. He says he remembers something his father told him a long time ago. He said, if you're green, you're still growing. If you're ripe, you rock. So he says, I'm always trying to get better as a player, even now in his 30s. And he has certainly been the one guy that Tom Brady has been able to trust all season long. Now let's send it back to the studio.
All right, it does not get any bigger than the rematch of that classic AFC title game from a year ago, this time in Foxborough, as the Patriots take on the Chiefs. Cynthia, will go to you since he's a homer.
Oh.
What are you looking for in this matchup?
I want to see how they use Tyreek Hill. So we saw in the AFC Championship game, they put 2 players on every single snap on Tyreek Hill, and then they put Stephon Gilmore on Sammy Watkins. They forced Patrick Mahomes to throw deep, and they kind of changed the situation, held Tyreek Hill to his lowest catch percentage of his entire career. I want to see if mastermind Andy Reid on the offense versus mastermind Bill Belichick on the defense. What do we see from that?
Yeah.
It's crazy how much these teams have changed. My son wanted to watch this game, which was on NFL Network last night, and he was like, "Oh, let's watch, little Chiefs Patriots." I was like, "Sure, son. He goes, well, let's enjoy this."
That's his favorite. He has a favorite child.
The thing that stuck with me, though, not only could the Patriots offense could put up 250 yards in the first half, which you just can't imagine now, it was the running backs. It was Rex Burkhead and James White crushing these Kansas City linebackers, and when they spread them out, they could run on the inside. I just haven't seen that this year out of the Patriots backfield, but I do think that's the way to beat the Chiefs, and so I think they need a big game out of all three of their backs, including Sony Michel.
I have a James White, like, you should play him.
I'm with you. I think this is a James White game.
The biggest question will be what the New England Patriots can do on offense. We know those receivers have been bumped up a little bit, and they've frustrated Tom Brady.
Your boy Sanu's playing. Mohamed Sanu is active.
Edelman's out there, obviously having a big season. But I always wonder what the defensive side for the New England Patriots, which has kind of been their foundation this year, what they can do against the Kansas City offense, because they are a dynamic offense, and those are the kind of teams that we've seen this defense struggle with early in the season.
Question for you.
Give it to me.
All week long, it's been like Tom Brady. They're like, but the receivers weren't open, and then you go back and watch it. They kind of looked open.
Yeah.
Which one was it? Like, it's hard.
It's a little bit of a mix, right? Because I think Tom Brady is getting older, and I'm not saying he can't do it anymore.
That's never happened.
But when he gets older,
he's in a hyperbaric chamber.
It's harder to be as accurate. It's harder to hit some of those throws. Like one route that's indicative of that is always the out route to the left of the sideline. Right? How accurate are you on that? We've seen Phillip Rivers struggle with it. We've seen Drew Brees struggle with it. Tom Brady as well. A lot of times.
That was actually really good analysis. Like, look at that. Like, I love that.
It's absolutely true.
Actually, thank you.
The difference with him, Tom Brady being older, is he gives up on plays quicker. It was the same as Peyton Manning. He could move in the pocket and extend a little bit. You don't think about that. And now he's just throwing the ball away. He throws away like crazy.
Exactly. Okay, we'll get the picks, even though Cynthia just actually me. The Patriots are favored by 3, Cynthia. What do you got for this one?
I actually have the Patriots winning by 2. I have 25-23 in this matchup, so it is a closer game than maybe expected. Maybe that home field advantage is kind of what that 3 point is coming from. But honestly, who knew that it would take all the way till Sunday for me to hear the very best analysis of that whole situation possible? It's not an actual, it's a real actually.
It's a real actually.
This is the official show of actually, so.
All right, I'm going with the Chiefs. I think for the same reasons I talked about, it's a very athletic team on offense. I think they're going to get the best of that defense, and I don't know if there's enough firepower for the Patriots to keep up.
I think the Patriots win a close one, like a 1-point game, very similar to Cynthia, because of the defense and because the Chiefs' offense has not really been in sync the last month. Since Patrick Mahomes has been back, they have not been the Chiefs' offense from 2018. I think that's what you need when you're going into Foxborough.
All right.
All right, well, I think we should probably move on now.
Let's do it.
Oh my goodness, the average Joes have showed up.
What is this?
I mean,
oh man.
So
they're feeling themselves, the Texas
Way too
linebackers,
much.
because it worked last couple weeks.
I mean,
goodness.
they're hilarious. We need to do something like that for our team camaraderie. And I think our producers probably need to partake in it as well. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a true team thing.
That's just too much. You're not supposed to use wheelchairs. That's
on.
like a bad.
If you're Bernardrick McKinney, like, this is how you get some pop. Are we talking about them?
Let's be
honest, he got hurt today?
If you're gonna do it, you better do it all the way.
I guess,
right? Like,
man.
you can't duck,
Wheelchairs
dodge,
as a prop
dive,
is maybe a
dodge,
step too far. I'm with
duck,
you.
dodge. All right, picks
All right.
time. Picks time. Broncos and Texans. Who you got, Greg?
I have the Texans winning easily. I don't trust Drew Lockett at all after watching that performance a week ago. I just don't think he's ready to be competitive against a good defense like the Texans.
I had the Texans winning too. I still have them winning, but I am questioning my pick because of the costumes I just seen. Now I feel like I'm second guessing it. You know?
Maybe like you just downgrade like the run game because it's the linebackers.
Yeah, exactly. Linebackers aren't going to play well.
Right.
Texans
okay.
win.
So I have Houston defeating Denver 24-17, and in this one, I think you want to take a look. I do think Philip Lindsay could be a sneaky good fantasy play in this one as well. And Kenny Stills, put him in your lineup right now. There's no Will Fuller, DeAndre Hopkins. You already have in your lineup. So Kenny Stills, touchdown.
All right, another big AFC game. The Tannehill train heads to the black hole. Raiders 6-6. What do you got, Cynthia?
I actually really
Suspense.
like this one. In this one, I got, you ready? Tennessee defeating Oakland 24-21 in this one. I feel very good about this one, especially with and look, I don't like injuries, but if you have an injury to maybe your best player on offense, then it makes me feel more confident in the pick of the Tennessee Titans upsetting or going into, I don't know if it's an upset, but going into Oakland to win.
Yeah, I mean, these two teams are going opposite directions, right? Like Tennessee is thriving and Oakland is heading into the dumps. They're diving. I like what you did there. And I think that continues this week. Tannehill has been playing lights out.
Play action.
I don't think the Raiders are going to be able to stop
that. The magic, the pixie dust has worn off on that Raiders offense. I have the Titans winning by a lot, and I'm a little worried because I feel like everyone is feeling this week. And
I know,
usually
which
not
means
everyone
when that happens,
is
then,
right. But yeah, I have the
usually
Titans.
when I get clobbered.
All right, next we got the Hawk Bowl, baby.
Hawk
It's all
Bowl.
anybody ever talks about. It's just my name is all over sports media all week. I know you're getting sick of it. The Browns are favored by 8.5 over the Bengals in Cleveland. Cynthia, what do you got?
I got 9, 26-17
Wow.
for
Okay.
the Brownies. In this one, David Njoku is active, says he will be starting. So if you need a tight end and you need to take a quick risk with that because
Yeah.
the tight end position is so dicey, fantasy football, go ahead.
Njoku back. I already had the Browns winning. Njoku only makes it that much better. Although I do think Andy plays well.
Right.
As an Andy
Andy.
Dalton apologist,
Where's our
I'd
pony?
also.
Where's
Yeah,
our Andy pony?
Where's our Andy pony? We'll get it. We'll get it here for the next
Well,
segment.
we've got
Get it.
that pony riding to an upset victory. I do at
Oh.
least. The Bengals win this game. We talked about it. Andy Dalton is the model breaker. The Red Rifle 2.0. He's playing differently than he did early in the season. This is a different Bengals team.
Different Andy Dalton.
All right. Well, next up, we're going to go to Arizona, where the Pittsburgh Steelers come to town in the late window. So we got Duck Hodges going to hunt cardinals, which
Ooh.
is not a duck, but it's a flying animal.
knows?
What do you
that.
have in this one?
I am going with the Cardinals. I know they didn't play well last week, but I have a bounce back game, and they're one of those teams that
Wow.
you just never know. And I think the Steelers are probably going to take them a little lightly in Arizona, and I think they're going to come out with the W.
I'm kind of feeling this. Mike Tomlin loving this Steelers defense. And
Yes.
Duck Hodges, I think, raises the ceiling of this team. He's improving their quarterback play. I think they win going away in Arizona.
Yeah, they are favored. I think a 1-point win is what I have, 21-20 in this matchup. But you do want to go get those Steelers kind of substitutes, right? You go get the Benny Snells, go get the James Washingtons, you even want Vance McDonald. You tight ends. But here's your fantasy like sneak, right?
Yeah.
And then on the other side,
I like it.
Christian Kirk is a good pick as well.
Great Sunday night game. Seahawks heading here to Los
Here,
Angeles.
right here.
Where the Seahawks are a 1-point favorite. Who knows? Might be a pick 'em by
It
the
is a pick 'em
time
now.
the game starts. What does the model say?
The model says that the Los Angeles Rams win 24-23.
Does the model ever give you ties?
There is a certain percentage for a tie in every single game.
Really?
It's very minimal though, like
Right.
0.5% is the highest.
This
I've
feels
ever
like this. If
I was
ever there
gonna
was
say-
going to be a tie, this could be a tie.
This could be the one. I'm going with the Seahawks.
Will you please pick the tie?
I'm going
No,
with the
no,
tie.
pick
The bold
tie.
prediction?
Pick the tie. Bold prediction. They're gonna tie.
Bold prediction, tie, Seahawks, Rams.
When
you
it's
heard it here
right,
first.
you're gonna look like a genius.
Right, I'm making a promotion. What do you got,
Exactly.
Greg?
I think the Rams win this game, and I do think Aaron Donald, who's had a very good season, steps up against the interior line of the Seahawks and just kind of reminds everyone, maybe I should be the defensive player of the year.
Little DPOY talk. All right, let's check out our other notable picks that we didn't get to. I think we're all aligned here. We all got Vikings. We all got Pack over the Redskins.
I think the Redskins could keep that game close. Bad rush defense, the way that they're running the ball.
Here we go. We got Chargers over the Jags. No love for Minshew Mania. That's crazy. Eagles over the Giants.
Another
Yeah.
model breaker, Eli Manning.
But that's why it's close.
All right.
I think most people think it's gonna be way more in favor of the Eagles.
Well, Kittle took the Gucci off.
Oh,
He's ready to get
that's
going
too bad.
in New Orleans. Well, get
You
some
can
more or
take the
less.
man out of the Gucci, but you can't take the Gucci out of the man.
Hey, we're coming back next on Game Debut. Got to end on that one. My Cause, My Cleats rolls on. We got David Blau.
Aww. This is why I love David Blau. You know, now I can be a fan because I already picked against the Lions, but David Blau, good job. Boil her up.
The Blauhards going strong today.
Going strong. Next, we got my guy, Andy Dalton, with the AJ and Andy Foundation.
Aww.
There it is, man.
Good logo.
That is a good
I love a
logo.
good cleat.
Like, you recognize it?
It's actually for his wife, JJ, not AJ Green. All right. More or less time.
Woohoo! We love our foam fingers. It's time for the foam fingers. All right, let's start with San Francisco at New Orleans, more or less than 44 points.
More.
I'm going more. I know they're two good defenses, but
Yeah,
indoors,
no,
forget
I mean, look,
it.
I'm
It's a low number.
going to more. I'm going to more in this one. Ultimately, look, when it comes down to this game, I think now that we have Teron Armstead playing, I think you're going to see even more points. I think Alvin Kamara, everyone becomes an even better pick in this one. All right, you ready for the next one?
Give it to us.
Okay, more or less than 47 points between Carolina and Atlanta.
I'm going more.
I'm going less.
Once again, two defenses I ultimately don't trust that much.
I don't trust the offenses either, though.
You don't trust any of them. That's why the NFC South's already been clinched.
It's already been fair enough. Okay, Pittsburgh and Arizona, more or less than 44 points.
Boom.
This Cardinals defense with a number that low. Explain it to me.
I don't know if the other side will put up there. Well, I don't think the Cardinals offense can keep up with that Steelers defense. Really good.
It's fair.
All right.
Yes.
It's hard to argue.
It's hard.
All right, let's get to some tweets, some social questions for our girl Cynthia Freeland here. First up, we got Shoger. All right, Waller or Henry, week 1 in the playoffs. Always appreciate your advice.
Oh, that's really nice.
That's
Thanks,
the way
Jerry.
you ask a question,
That is.
Jerry.
Okay, I'm going to go with Waller here, but they're both good options. I just think Waller, I think they're going to have to, the game script is going to be that Oakland's going to have to be throwing. So you're going to go more Waller. I think Henry could be a little dicey.
All right, next, Jacobs, Hyde, or Penny?
Okay, well, Jacobs is questionable. That's scary. Hyde's playing. It's not a great matchup. Penny, do we know who's going to be rushing us? So I think Penny's probably the upside pick here. Jacobs, you can wait to the later one to see if we have any more information on Penny because that's an even later game.
All right, we got Lockett or Metcalfe tonight.
Oh, gosh.
I have Russ as my quarterback.
Well, Russ as your quarterback is a good thing. Lockett, you're going to have to pick Lockett here, but you don't have to like it. He hasn't
Why?
seen
Why do you have to pick him when he hasn't done anything the last 3 weeks? Metcalfe's
tough
getting it
weeks.
done.
It's some tough
I
weeks.
think it's Lockett.
All right, next, time to look at what we'll be tweeting about after week 14 in our Monday morning timeline. Cynthia, we will go to you first. What do you got?
It's like you got to get the subtleness of this one, right?
Okay.
Better luck in Vegas.
Okay.
This is so
See
well
who
done.
that is? That's a coach. Just John
He's
Gruden.
done.
Yep.
Vegas.
They're going
need
to
some luck.
They need some luck.
Now you throwing in like an Andrew Luck thing? Is
I'm
that
just
weird?
saying.
Oh man, that was
People
such
in
a good
Vegas
one.
need to be luckier, and we're all about that.
You know who's
We're all
going to need a
about that
little
life in
luck
this one.
after Sunday?
Who?
Seahawks Twitter.
Ooh.
Let's fly it up. The 49ers is back atop the NFC. Seahawks Twitter back to losing its mind. We'd love to, show you the Seahawks Baby Yoda meme, but we're not Disney. We need that money. Give me that Disney money,
We don't got that much money
Give me
here.
that Disney Plus money.
All right, time for mine. This is an easy one, actually. This is what I'll be tweeting on Monday. Just like I guaranteed my former Ohio team got the W.
Nice.
And I'm just going to use the picture of the team that actually wins. Because
Can you pick
sports
a tie
media,
here?
am I right?
What happens?
Wow.
What happens if the tie happens here?
I spontaneously combust.
And what if it's
Two,
16
what
to
if
16?
two ties happen?
Two
What
ties
if both
win.
of the ties you're calling for, the Seahawks and the Rams and both of the Ohio teams?
Then I'm holding out for a new deal.
That would be a very
I
Bengals.
mean-
That would kind of be an ultimate Hawk Bowl result. A tie.
Right, a tie.
Everyone's just like, why
Everyone
did we
loses
show
and
up?
everyone wins at the same time. All right, that's it for us here on Game Debut. Make sure you tune in next week, 6:30 a.m. Eastern on Thursday, NFL and YouTube.